Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Friday, September the 13th, 2024. I'm Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister here at Sunshine Cathedral.
I am Reverend Dr. Robert Griffin, the Executive Minister. Faith and religion can be complicated for the LGBTQ+ community. Surveys show that evangelical faith is the justification for the greatest attacks on the LGBTQ+ community.
I am Reverend Kevin Tisdall, the Minister of Education. The Queer God Squad is going to explore our religious community. Let's explore the big news of the day and what it means to you.
I am Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, the Minister of Connections. This is live, and then we are available on demand. If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform and social media.
At Sunshine Cathedral, we're here to tell you that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Are LGBTQ+ people superstitious about Friday the 13th? There are various stories about why Friday the 13th is considered unlucky. Some think it goes back to a day in the Middle Ages when Knights Templar were rounded up and arrested by order of the French king. Others believe the superstition only goes back a couple hundred years. One self-proclaimed subject matter expert said on Reddit that the superstition became popularized in the U.S. in 1907 because of a novel that was published that year. A Christian myth suggests that since Jesus was executed on a Friday and was turned in by Judas, the 13th person at the table of the Last Supper, though I guess it's fair to count off starting with Jesus, but how do we know the order after that? So 13th guy at a Thursday supper led to Jesus being killed on Friday, so that hypothesis goes. Another supposition is that 12 is a perfect number, but add one more to it and it becomes overwhelming and out of balance. 12 is good, and 13 is too much of a good thing that turns out bad. Now, gays love Halloween, and some lesbian and gay people get into mystical spiritualities, including pagan magic. So one wonders if queer folk are superstitious about Friday the 13th, or is it just one more thing to queer, to reconsider, to play with and redeem? Let's see what this haunting day means to the Queer God Squad. I didn't even know that it was Friday the 13th until I read this story. And so it doesn't hold a whole lot of meaning for me. Now, I never really was big into the horror movies or the scary movies, the Friday the 13th stuff, nothing like that. Though I recognize that some people, particularly those who follow pagan traditions, Friday the 13th can have some meaning. And I honor that and I recognize that. I guess sometimes we look for ways to make meaning of certain things. If something bad has happened and it happened on a Friday, maybe it was Friday the 13th. We look for ways to make meaning, but honestly, for me and for me alone, it doesn't mean a whole lot.
Yeah. When you were talking, they were popping up all these photos, and there's this black cat. I just thought, what a beautiful kitty. What a beautiful cat. So yeah, look at the kitty
cat.
Right? When you adopt pets, even dogs and cats, if you adopt black ones, there's a discount.
Yes, there is.
They're trying because people won't take them. Isn't that silly? Meanwhile, we've only had like black cats and black dogs, and they're just beautiful and lovely. So the Queen, the departed Queen Elizabeth II, she wouldn't have anything to do with the number 13. Didn't mean anything to her, but in her travels, whatever, she knew people that it did. So just to be sort of diplomatic, just nothing to do with in that way. Then if you had some issue with it, it wouldn't come up in her presence. You wouldn't be bothered or whatever. I know there's buildings that won't have a 13th floor.
Right.
Well, just because you call it 14, it's really still the 13th thing. It just really is. But so anyway, I don't know why. It's fun to be scared. It's why we ride roller coasters. It's why we go to haunted houses. I mean, it's kind of fun to be scared, but it's also empowering to face your fears. So like if you're choosing to be scared for the thrill, that's fun. If you really are nervous about things, then overcoming them is actually feels good. So yeah, I'm not worried too much about days or dates or colors or shapes or whatever. I'm not too. Although I do know there's things like sacred geometry or whatever, but I'm not. If it serves a purpose, if I want to like play with some numbers or whatever to make a point or create a story or whatever, it serves a purpose. Yeah, I'll go there, but I don't live my life by any of that. There's a that would suggest a predetermined set of events that just that I don't see a lot of evidence for.
Right.
Our choices seem to make way more impact than on what just what the calendar says today.
Coincidences. I mean, it just happens to be a 13 on a Friday. I know that as we went through life, people would say if something strange happened on that day, well, look, it's Friday the 13th. Of course, there's craziness. But that craziness happened every day.
Right.
Meaning.
And not only Friday the 13th, can you imagine if a full moon happened on Friday the 13th? A whole lot of people freak out because they just know that Armageddon is coming, that the end of the world is coming because of the convergence of craziness.
Yeah.
I think that 13 is a beautiful number, especially if I go to a bakery shop and they have a baker's dozen.
There you go.
You get
I like the
13
way you
donuts in that baker's dozen. I love it.
Right. Well, and I couldn't wait to be 13 because it ended with the word teen.
Teen, yeah.
I just.
I got nothing. I mean, it's no, we queer whatever we do because we're people, and it's Friday. For most people, it's payday. For most people, it's getting off work for a good long weekend. It happens to be the 13th, so that means you start the cocktail hour maybe at 1300 on the clock versus at 1600, 1700, and you just kind of party all night long. But as far as it's superstition, it's like, it's just one more thing. And again, I respect those people who need it and they honor that and all that it means. But, most of what I think about is Friday the 13th. It's Saturday the 14th. Oh, yesterday was Friday the 13th. Did anything happen? It's like, I get it in reverse. It's like, did anything crazy happen yesterday? I don't remember anything. Did I walk underneath the ladder? Did a black cat cross my path? Do I need to throw some salt over? No, where's my martini?
Yeah.
That's the salty one.
Yes.
I have 13 olives in my martini.
There you go.
I was going to say, it'd be a good day to have blackberry in your martini.
There you go.
Right.
13 of them.
As long as we're getting the cocktail, you can serve it on a broken mirror, under
the ladder
with an umbrella over it in the house, and a black cat in your lap. Just make sure that it's appropriately dirty and super cold. Yes. You know what? But I also think I think there's a weird sort of perverse humor, almost gallows humor that we have. It's a survival technique and instinct. You can't tell us that we're the devil and then expect us to be scared of the devil. So we're going to make fun of it. We're going to laugh at it. We're going to have a good time with it. I think that's why we're sort of drawn to kind of costumes at Halloween or whatever, or why we loved Elvira. Worst movies ever, but she was fabulous. And so what I mean. So I think that's part of our queer culture too. It's just we're going to queer. We're going to defang it. We're going to make fun of it. We're going to make it playful. We knew we were good, and you told us we weren't. So your little superstitions mean nothing to us, including P.S. this foolishness about 666. Just another number that's going to come up every 1,000th time of whatever you're doing. I know people used to they wouldn't have license plates that had they would skip it. It's still the 666th one though. Hello. So like if you can fool the fates don't matter. You know what I mean? So the number 666 though, that is from Revelation. It's not even a thing. It means the emperor at the time. There was a rumor that Nero Caesar had killed himself. Well, of course, he had done, but that he had stabbed himself in the throat, but that he had faked it and he was going to come back into power. And so that's the whole story about this monster with the wounded head who comes back to life, and the numbers in the name. Well, a lot of languages, Greek, Aramaic, Latin, the letters have numerical value. Nero Caesar's name has the numerical value of 666. So it's all politics, it's all empire, it's all past, it's all good storytelling or whatever. The number itself just means one less than 667 and one more than 665. So yeah, I think that because we've had to face superstitions about ourselves, and also we've had to educate ourselves about all kinds of things. I think, we're either going to ignore it or we're going to really camp it up.
Yeah.
I like that.
I can do both.
There you go.
So,
I like that.
well, that's the day with the Queer God Squad. We want to thank you for joining us. We're here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ plus community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's largest progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. And we are all in this together. Remember that.
You are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.